So we headed off past the waterfall, and my brother at this stage wasn't in 10 platoon. He had become a runner for 4B Company, and I didn't know where he was, but as we passed where company headquarters was, I heard this, "Keep your head down." He didn't say much at any time, but keep your head down, in a deep voice. So we plodded on in until we came out of the heavier growth, and we had come across quite an open area of kuno grass, what it is, it's about this high. And we were only about 10 metres into it, and all hell broke loose. Because that's they were just waiting for us to do that, and they opened up on us. And strange enough, they didn't actually hit any one of us, the whole platoon. They nicked one of our blokes, Norm Boys. As he went to ground, they nicked a bit out of his backside. It's the only one. A bit unlike what I'll tell you about later, a bit unlike what we did later. They opened fire from, I don't know, excuse me, pulling the face, I don't know, maybe 50 metres away. And we went to ground, and this is where, in hindsight, not at the time, didn't give it a thought, and it was good you didn't give it a thought. Jack Girk was our loot, and immediately we hit the ground. He said charge. Had he not said charge and you'd laid there for 20 seconds perhaps, you might have thought, oh God, oh hell, what's going to happen here? But we no sooner hit the ground, he said charge, and we charged across this open space, and they still didn't open up on us when we were charging across it. I feel a bit goose-fleshy now thinking about it. And I'm not the bravest bloke, but I must have been pretty close to the loot and heard the order before him, because I was one of the first ones over, and I grabbed, as I thought, shelter behind a tree. But unfortunately, the tree, I'm not very broad, the tree was about 2/3 of my width. And I got behind this one, and that's when two of my mates came from behind me and got hit. That was Mick Clark, who got killed, and George Maidman, who got wounded. And while I'm behind this one, I was in an invidious position. That's a pretty big word. I couldn't pick up my rifle to do anything because I was sticking out both shoulders, and I'm not just saying that it was either 5 or 6 slugs hit the front of the tree, but they weren't good enough shots to hit my shoulder. And at about this stage, when I was standing there, so the grass was long, I felt a tug on my bottom of my pants. And I know I'm joking about this, and I have made the joke of it at some of our turnouts. I've said to people, I didn't really think it was a Jap wanting my autograph. I looked down, it was one of my Bunbury mates, Ronnie Rushton. I said, what are you doing there? He said, move over. I said, move over, Ron, I'm sticking out both sides now. I said, beat it. He said, I can't, there's nowhere to go. And I knew there was a big fallen tree to my right, about 20 metres to the right of me. And I said, beat it, they'll see the grass moving and someone will pick you up. And I knew that the two blokes on my right behind decent cover were the two Harris brothers, and they both had Tommy guns. So I yelled out to them, give him cover and fire. And he was very athletic, but he made a bolt for it, and I could see it in the corner, and he swan dived over this, and he got behind this log. In post years in Bunbury, whenever I'd meet him, and he'd be with people whom I didn't know, because I still knew Bunbury people, it would always introduce me, the bloke who saved his life. I said, I didn't save your life. I said, I told you to beat it. I said, you were only drawing the crabs when you were there. But he insisted, well, I suppose, not intentionally, I didn't set out to save his life, but I suppose in a sense it did save his life. And he was always used that, he'd tell his mates that. Anyway, after perhaps seconds or a moment or so, I thought, well, I can't do anything here. I could be better off where he's gone, and he's made it. So I called out to these two brothers, give me cover. And I made a bolt, and I got over there. I did a swallow dive over this log and got away myself, as it so happened. Anyway, after a while, we realised that we were in trouble because the 53rd, who was supposed to be protecting our right flank, had shot through. And that's why we had to pull out, because we had no cover ourselves. Well, the two blokes that got killed alongside me, that's how they'd got, because they were still more or less in the open, and they'd got picked off, but the 53rd unfortunately had disappeared. So that's why we had to pull out, so the whole exercise was fruitless, because we had to pull out after getting that far. Although I think Keith Norris at 10 platoon, the others had to pull out too, because we were, to be honest, I never saw a Jap there, because they were hidden there waiting for us to get there. George Maidman, who'd been wounded, he got back to under his own steam back to company headquarters that day. We got lost and didn't get back till the next day. I mean, that's how bad it was. I remember saying to Jack Gherkin later life, talking about something, remember when we were lost? He said, Jim, we weren't lost, I knew where we were. Well, I thought he was ex-officer of mine. I wasn't going to say it, but I thought, well, if we weren't lost, it took us a long back time to find our way back to our company.